The Catcher in the Rye is a novel written by J.D. Salinger and published in 1951. The story follows Holden Caulfield, a 16-year-old boy who has been expelled from his prep school and is wandering through New York City in the days before he is due to return home for Christmas. Holden is struggling to come to terms with the changes he is experiencing as he grows up, and he becomes increasingly disillusioned with the world around him. He feels alienated from his peers and society in general, and he becomes fixated on protecting the innocence of children. Throughout the novel, Holden interacts with various people, including his former classmates, his little sister, and a prostitute. He often finds their behavior to be phony and insincere, which reinforces his sense of alienation. As the story progresses, Holden's mental state deteriorates, and he becomes increasingly unstable. He ultimately has a breakdown and ends up in a mental hospital. The Catcher in the Rye is a classic coming-of-age story that explores themes of alienation, identity, and the struggle to find one's place in the world. The novel has been praised for its realistic portrayal of adolescence and its commentary on the phoniness of adult society. The Catcher in the Rye is a novel that delves deeply into the psyche of its protagonist, Holden Caulfield, as he struggles to come to terms with the changes and challenges of growing up. One of the central themes of the novel is Holden's sense of alienation from the world around him. He feels disconnected from his peers and from society in general, and he often retreats into his own thoughts and fantasies as a way of coping with this sense of isolation. Throughout the novel, Holden is preoccupied with the idea of innocence, particularly the innocence of children. He sees children as pure and uncorrupted by the phoniness and hypocrisy of adult society, and he becomes fixated on the idea of protecting this innocence. This fixation is driven in part by his own fear of losing his own innocence as he grows older, and his desire to hold on to the simpler, more idealistic world of childhood. Holden's interactions with the various characters he encounters throughout the novel reflect his sense of disillusionment with the world around him. He is critical of his classmates at prep school, whom he sees as phony and insincere. He is also deeply critical of adult society, which he sees as corrupt and hypocritical. His interactions with his little sister, Phoebe, are one of the few sources of comfort and connection in his life. As the novel progresses, Holden's mental state deteriorates, and he becomes increasingly unstable. He engages in self-destructive behavior, such as drinking and picking fights, and he becomes increasingly paranoid and delusional. Ultimately, he has a breakdown and is admitted to a mental hospital, where he begins to recover. The Catcher in the Rye is a powerful and moving exploration of the struggles and challenges of adolescence, as well as the difficulties of coming to terms with the realities of adult society. It is a timeless classic that continues to resonate with readers of all ages, and it remains one of the most important and influential works of American literature.